Hello, my name is Jan Benham, and today I'm going to talk about spotty congested skin, or the technical term would be acne vulgaris. Now, most of us at one stage in our life have suffered with spotty skins, whether it just be the odd pimple that happens once a month around your period time, to full-blown on cystic acne, where you can be left with acne scars. So it can vary to a wide degree, and even you can get adult acne too. So we're going to look at treatment that you can do yourself to help at home and the mistakes to avoid. So first of all, when I was in my teens, I did suffer from teenage acne. Not very bad, but it was bad enough. So I would go and buy toners. And unfortunately at that time, of course, I would look for toners that were meant for oily skin to dry out the sebum. So I would buy these toners and start applying. Now these toners back in the 70s, even into the 80s, some of them contain acetone, which is basically nail varnish cleaning product. So they're pretty aggressive. And yes, they take off your oil off your skin. But then the skin starts to fight back, and then it produces more oil, and you keep wiping it up, and then you get exfoliants, and you keep cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and then of course your skin just gets aggravated, inflamed, and you even get, I know I was getting myself dry skin as well, water dry skin. So then my skin was starting to flake and peel. And over the years, since I've been treating people, because I've been doing holistic skincare for over 40 years actually now, I've seen this problem happen time and again. So ditch those toners, ditch those exfoliants. We have to calm the skin down. Now, I know that most of acne is hormonal based, so that unless you actually go to a doctor and see if you can change your hormones around in some way, I wouldn't try to mess around too much with that, but obviously we can't do much about that. But you might want to take a look anyway at your diet to see if you are not, if you're eating processed foods. Eating dairy actually seems to cause a lot of problems. So I would certainly try for a little while to cut out all dairy. And obviously any processed foods, any omega-6 oils such as your sunflower oil, your safflower oils, all those vegetable oils with the exception of olive oil. You can certainly eat fat, there's nothing wrong with that, but it does make the problem worse. So you can certainly do your part that way, drinking of course lots of water and ditching things like Coca-Cola, processed foods, salt and pepper crisps and chips and things like that. That will all help, and of course eating a balanced diet and eating a lot of fruit and vegetables. That's number one. For the external use, what we need to do is calm the skin down. So even if you just have the odd pimple or not, it's good to have a very simple routine. Now I did cover some of this in the sensitive skin because pretty well it's a very similar routine. But generally speaking, if you wear makeup, obviously you need to clean that off at night. And I would suggest a very gentle cleanser. Now, what does help in essential oils? Now, essential oils I use them extensively. And one very good essential oil that I would suggest for use would be geranium. Because geranium helps both dry and oily skin. It helps to balance the skin. Palmarosa is another one that is good for oily and dry skin. So you could use this in a cleansing lotion, for example. You could make your own basic white lotion, or find yourself a clean product that you know someone has made or a company has made that doesn't contain any parabens or any unnecessaries basically. So you want a very clean product, organic if possible, or you can make it yourself and add some geranium to it. And then you can use that to clean your face every night. And even if you don't wear makeup, it's a good idea just to make sure you clean. I wouldn't suggest using soap Not that soap is so bad if you use cold press soap, but a lot of soaps that you buy also have perfume in them, which you don't want to be using on your skin, especially your face, and that can irritate the skin. Also, soap is alkaline by nature, your skin is acid. So if you use bar soap on your face, then it's going to change, it's not going to be good for your skin pH balance. So don't use bar soap on your skin. Use a cleansing lotion that is pH balanced. Then afterwards, wipe over with some toning lotion. Now it can be very simple. It could be plain old rose water, the pure rose water I'm talking about, the hydrosol or hydrolat as it's also known. You could use plain old rose water, and if you can, again, add to a bottle this size, just add about 4 drops of geranium essential oil to it. And you just give it a shake, and then you can put it into a damp cotton wool and just wipe over your face. Now I make a more complicated toning lotion that adds a little bit of witch hazel, which does have a natural form of alcohol in, so it's not going to be drying, but it's going to be toning to the skin. So I used about 10% witch hazel, about 50% rose water, or even cucumber water is really lovely for oily skin. And then you can fill the rest up with some distilled water. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be 100% floral waters. And then you just give it a shake, add a few drops of essential oil. You could even add a couple of drops of lavender if you wish as well. I'm talking about 2 drops, I'm not talking about 10 drops. And use that on a daily basis. I wouldn't honestly put anything on at night unless it's to soothe something down. So I wouldn't suggest putting on a cream or a lotion onto your skin if you've got an oily acne skin. But you could put something on to calm things down. For example, jojoba. Jojoba oil is actually a liquid wax. It's not an oil, although it feels oily. But what is beautiful about jojoba, especially for oily skins, is it absorbs sebum. And it doesn't cause oil to be clogged in your skin. So if you wanted to add something, you could add, put a dime-sized drop or a large drop of jojoba oil in your hand. I would add just a couple of drops of something calming. So in that case, I would certainly use like a 10% immortelle oil, which is also known as everlasting. The Latin name would be helichrysum. And I would put 1 drop of that into the jojoba oil. It's very gentle on the skin, and it soothes and calms, but it's also antiseptic and helps to heal if you've got any bacteria there. Now, usually what comes along with acne is a lot of blackheads. And you do need to remove them. There's no way around them. But I don't want you to be using these strips that strip off. Again, you're going to be damaging your skin. But you do want to get rid of them before they build up and you get spots developing. And if they get deep enough, these spots, that's when you can have scarring occurring. So they need to be removed, and the best way to remove them is by making sure your fingernails are wrapped really, really well, if you want to do it yourself, and with some tissue, and then just scoop it up gently, scoop, and just scoop it out. If it doesn't want to come, leave it, and leave it for another day. Now another thing you can help to loosen this all up is to make a fruit acid lotion. The recipe is in both of my books, The Creamy Craft of Cosmetic Making and The Baby Boomer's Beauty Bible. And how you actually make it, you get a plain, unscented lotion or cream. I prefer a lotion here. And you get 15 ml, which is 1 tablespoon. And you put 6 drops of lemon essential oil in, 6 drops of grapefruit, and 6 drops of lime essential oil. They're all organic that you want to get. You mix it into the lotion, and then every evening you could use this as your night treatment. Apply just a little bit on the very bad areas, not close to your eyes, on your nose, on your chin, on your forehead, even if you've got problems with white spots as well, which are basically trapped sebum. Apply it on there, let it settle in. It might tingle a little bit, but that's okay, it won't hurt your skin. So don't worry about that. And leave it on overnight. And eventually those blackheads will get easier to, they won't develop so much. Also, your skin won't be, as you're calming your skin down, you won't be producing as much oil. So it gets less and less. So your skin has to balance first. Now in the morning, just tone. Just tone your face. And again, if you want to put on a cream or a lotion, only if you need to. You don't need to. I mean, I would just tone it and leave it. Only put something on if you really need, if you need something on dry areas, like on your neck or your cheeks and so on dry. If you've got a T-zone, which means you've got oily skin in the middle, and then you have dry patches on the side. So just place a cream on your side patches. But do not use anything that has perfume in it or parabens. So make sure your product is a clean product. Another trick I found helps is using seaweed extract and gel, which I have a video on that on the channel. And what it seems to do, and this was totally by surprise, I used it more for helping to firm the skin, but I noticed that when I was using it on a daily basis, I didn't have any blackheads forming whatsoever. And apparently it does help to reduce the formation of the trapped sebum in the skin. So that's another possibility that you might want to look into. So very simply, just do that for now. And then that might be all you need to do. And then of course, if you need to go to an expert, you can go to an expert. Of course, everybody's skin is different and reacts differently. Just do those few things and then you should see some improvement. Now, for those who have got a lot of spots, obviously you want to cover them. The worst thing you can do is put a heavy makeup on top. That is going to make the problem worse over a longer period of time. You know, because the heavy makeup usually is with silicone, the skin doesn't get a chance to breathe. And so what I would suggest using a mineral powder foundation, not a liquid. And you want a powder that is made with, preferably, I make one with oats, for example, especially made oat powder that's specially designed for cosmetic use. It's not just ground up oats. And oats are very calming to the skin, but also with the pigment, it will help to cover. And it's usually strong enough, a good mineral foundation powder will be strong enough to cover the red patches without stopping the skin from breathing. So I mean, for example, if I've got a problem, I use a small brush. I don't use a big kabuki brush, and I don't cover my whole face with mineral powder. What I just do is I take a little bit, and say I've got a spot on my hand here, I just press on the spot, circle it in, and just brush around the sides. And then you can always repeat over and over again until you've got a nice coverage. If you don't have a brush, you can use your fingers. There's enough natural oil in your fingers that you can smooth it on. And be again careful, not all mineral powders are the same. Some contain other ingredients as well. So be aware of your ingredients. You want a powder that contains zinc oxide as well, because zinc oxide helps to deflame. It's also antifungal, which is great for helping to reduce the inflammation in your skin. Now, another tip is if you get a spot that comes up overnight and you want to get rid of it fast, you could make what I call a zit zapper. And all it is you put a drop of lavender directly on the spot. Just put it on and leave it. And just make sure you don't get it in your eye. So don't put it right up here, for example. But put a spot of lavender. It seems to be the best one there. Normally I don't say put essentials directly on the skin, but in this case I would say go for it. So a drop of lavender directly on a spot, and it will at least act as an antibacterial agent to destroy the bacteria and help the spot to dissipate as well. So I do hope that helps. If you have any questions, please contact me. Until next time, bye for now.